wanted to thank everyone for joining on a Wednesday afternoon in the middle of the week. And good evening, everyone. And welcome to the Beyond Buzz webinar, which is AI solutions that actually work in recruitment. I am Syed Vaidya, and I'm thrilled to be moderating today's session. We are coming to you live on Zoho as well as LinkedIn. So there are people who have joined us directly. Those will able to maybe put something on the chat, converse, etc. And there are people who have joined us on LinkedIn. So from wherever you have joined during the session, if you have any questions, please feel free to put up in comments, and we'll answer your questions. And so I'll let us start with a poll that sets the what it is the webinar is about. We'll ask, what's your current experience with AI in hiring? So all those people in the can vote. How is your current experience for AI in hiring? So the options are successfully using AI tools with measurable results, experimenting with solutions, mixed results, evaluating AI options but haven't implemented it yet, skeptical about AI hype in recruitment, or haven't started looking at. We have got good responses so far. The most voted for now is experimenting with AI solutions and mixed results, and evaluating AI solutions but haven't implemented it yet. So let's publish it. So the AI recruitment landscape has reached a critical inflection point in 25. As you can see, most of the attendees here are
Sai, there is a lot of echo while you are speaking.
it's not from my end.
Really, you wanted to take up that question? If you can.
Sure, Jyotis, I can try. Just take the presentation from Sahib.
Yeah.
I think this should be better now.
Yes, it is better now.
Okay, apologies for this. And let me just start with introducing all the speakers over here. Firstly, we have Manish Pandey sir. He's VP Human Resources from Maruti Suzuki India and leading HR operations at India's largest automaker. Manish sir brings an extensive experience in large-scale recruitment and workforce management across diverse business functions. Then we have Nitin Saraswat, who's head of Flexi Resource Acquisition team at Maruti Suzuki India. His specialization in flexible workforce acquisition strategies, managing recruitment operation across multiple location and business units with deep insights into AI implementation at scale. And next is Achyut Menon. He's Director Talent Operations at Options Executive Search. He has 30 years in recruitment experience and has tested many AI hiring platforms. And I think today in the session, he'll be sharing the brutal truth about which works, which does not work, and which are just AI solutions shouted as automation. Then we have Jyotis. He's the co-founder of Zappy Hire, and as someone who's built AI hiring tools from scratch, Jyotis knows exactly where vendors cut corners and what question expose those gaps in AI recruitments. So throughout our questions, as I said, we'll be welcoming all the questions and comments. So please drop them in the question Q&A and we'll answer them. So let's start with addressing the elephant in the room. The AI recruitment market is saturated and with bold claims and impressive demos. But those that are implementing those solutions know the reality can be different. So Manish sir, From an enterprise standpoint, managing recruitment at Maruti scale, what red flags should HR leaders watch for when AI recruitment vendors pitch to them? Or what promises immediately makes you skeptical?
Thanks, Syed, and welcome all the panel members and those who have joined online in this webinar. So it's crucial to evaluate both the technology and the business practices behind these platforms, AI recruitment platforms. And some of the red flags which I'd like to highlight, which the recruiter should look at, various vendors offering these kind of solution is uh, first thing is we should look at over promising of the results should be one of the major red flag. Like claims like 100% unbiased hiring, guaranteeing the best hires. So these are something which is nothing in this world can be 100%. There can be a perfection which can be achieved, but nothing can be 100%. So second point is AI can only assist, but not replace the human judgment entirely. So that one thing like AI solution has to be there is to be a hand in hand collaboration between the AI. AI can give you options, solutions, but ultimate judgment lies with the human. So human cannot be replaced in the entire recruitment cycle. That we also experience in our hiring. We do large number of hirings also. Also with the coming up of the DPDP Act, the data protection guidelines, the GDPR norms, all those things, no, they have to be kept in mind whether the vendors which are pitching them, whether they are aware about it or not. Complying is one part, whether the awareness is there or not. So that thing should also be there. And of course, there are certain parameters like proven track record needs to be checked. All those things. So this is all from my side to begin
Got
with.
it. Essentially, you're saying that those AI need human intelligence, and those promising that will replace your entire human workforce with AI are to be watch out for. That nothing in the world can replace the human intelligence. Maybe can assist you take those decisions better, efficient, and in a faster way, but not completely replace it. So that's a good point, Manish sir. And I think it also moves on to the next question, which is for Nitin sir. So when you're managing recruitment across multiple locations, Maruti secretary, they're hiring blue collar, they're hiring white collar across a different locations. So there must be some AI claims that must sound impressive in the boardroom, but when you try it out, actually, let's say some might claim that, everything will be standardized and every location, every process will be standardized. Might sound very impressive in the boardroom, but might not happen. So how does that work? Does it work in a way? How does it? Your thoughts, Nitin sir?
Yeah, thanks, Shahid. So basically, when we talk about the recruitment process of a big organization like Maruti Suzuki, where multiple category of employees hired from pan-India locations for the different plants and location, and definitely it is hired by different vendors also. So basically, lot of AI tools are there which look to be attractive, but sometimes they really disappoint us, as you already said that standardization part. And I would like to add some more example in that. So basically, in some process, what happens that AI claims that AI can fully automate the hiring process, but when it comes to the blue collar hiring parts, so this basically this statement doesn't work completely. So in actual situation, what happened that AI can be helpful in managing the big data and automation of certain processes, but the complete hiring process of blue collar manpower, it cannot be automated by AI because it also required certain type of physical assessments, local interviews, and documentation part. Or there are multiple similar kind of activities are there, which is also physical and maybe hybrid. So AI is not very much convenient in that. So that is an improvement point for the AI as of now. And secondly, I just would like to talk about the AI-based video interviews, which is very fascinating as of now. Everyone is talking about that. It claims that algorithm can read the facial expressions, tones, and word choice to predict the suitable candidate. But in reality, what happens? the ascent of candidate, regional impact, and even the internet speed that affect the complete scoring. So candidate from the small town may rated lower not due to ability, but due to lack of network, language constraint, or understanding with the digital interview platform. So basically, in short, I would like to say that AI is very useful, as rightly Manish just said, for volume handling, like screening of candidate, scheduling of events, FAQs, and other things which is monotonous. But when the question comes to manage entire recruitment process for the blue collars or a bulk hiring, there is lot of scope of improvement in it. So I think the tools of which is developed by the AI is evolving day by day. So it is quite possible in future that this challenge also got addressed. That's all from my
Those
side.
those are some great insights, Nitin sir. I think we'll talk. I think one particular point I'll later on in the webinar discuss about video interviews. But moving on to Achyut sir, so you have tested multiple tools, right? So when you are exploring those tools, maybe for a brand, maybe for your own, or just in general, because I think you have been in the industry, what is the most common thing they try to oversell? And what's something the recruitment leader should be cautious about that this is a red flag?
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Achyut and I'm a recruiter by profession, and I'm paid only for outcomes. Okay, which means that if I'm not successful, I don't exist. Okay, so I'm a little more critical about all these tools because to me, AI in hiring works only when it removes a real bottleneck. It fits the way we work and proves with numbers what business cares about. So whenever I'm talking to partners, I probably evaluate a product every week. I buy outcomes, okay, not demos. Okay, so that's the proof of the pudding is in the eating. My problem is that the most oversold promise is magic matching. Okay? People think that one click, perfect rank, no questions. Okay, that's fantasy. I've come from I'm a probably the oldest living recruiter in India. I've been hiring for 33 years. I started hiring when there was no email, mobile phone, started with physical resumes. I saw the world of databases and now AI. Okay. So, and even most demos of when you talk portals also, they say, okay, Java J2E, Hyderabad, 70,000 resumes. So as a recruiter, I'm not worried about 70,000. I just want 5 candidates who fit the requirement. So I am a little skeptical about all these hypes. So my question to any vendor or partner is, okay, can your system find me 5 high fit candidates which my best sourcer missed for a real role in the last quarter? है तो बात करेंगे. And then when he gives me a list of 5, the ranking different way, I want to say why. The skills evidence, recency, context, source trial, etc. Because I need to convince the hiring manager. And finally, the consistency part. If I run a search on the platform in 2 separate times, say today and say 10 days back, am I getting consistent quality? Now, if this happens, then I'm sold. I'm a little critical, I said, but yeah, I buy outcomes and not demos.
That's a very interesting insight because mimicking the human intelligence, not in the way that it is artificial, but also understanding the context of what the role is, what the time is, what the urgency is, and what the previous skills and experience has been, and maybe the track record could be a good way. And consistency, right? Like maybe you get someone who was referred right now, 10 days later, the person is nowhere in the top 50. So I think that brings me to you, Jyotis. So when there are companies who are, looking for other platforms and they have been currently looking at, and they come to you at Zappy Hire or Zappy View, telling you about those issues. We were promised this feature, but that did not happen, or it was not what expected. What gaps do you usually see, commonly see?
That's an interesting question. This industry-wide, there is a trend of overselling AI power that I totally agree. Um, you know, Probably overpromise, overselling, so on and so forth. And sometimes the requirement, other side also, maybe on the similar side, because one of the most frequent requirement I hear is, can your AI go and fetch the right resume from LinkedIn and all the data sources available in the world? And can you create a social profile about the candidates, how he, behave in the social spaces, so on and so forth, which is very difficult to, even from a technical standpoint, of course, it is possible. But when look at from the data availability and the legal issues in around of that aspect, it is not, it is not enough to, at the moment, it's not enough that resources to bring those kind of requirement and the results to the companies. And I personally feel sourcing is one of the major ask for any of the recruiters when it comes to the AI and adoption. Second, of course, the screening, because these are the two major functions of the talent acquisition space where most of the time goes, right? To how I rightly mentioned, how are we going to identify the best five people from the larger corpus of applications received? But the maturity of AI now, especially recently, happens with the agentic approach. Now we have moved from an AI to an agentic, right? A lot of agentic approaches has been already there. Since I am an advocate of AI, I see there is a possibility of addressing all these challenges which is currently facing right now with the systems, with the new approaches and AI agentic approaches. There are people. I think OpenAI comes up with this kind of a recruitment, applications soon, or maybe Microsoft or Google will come up with the same, because it's more about the data initially and more about identifying the right or extracting the right information with a higher accuracy, and then cross-checking with the job description. So whatever pitfalls what we have seen in the system probably will be addressed soon, and there's going to be a balance. Of course, it's not the top where it can do magic for each and every use cases, but at the same time it definitely saves some time.
That's a very interesting insight because the gaps come from expectations that people maybe, you know, will manipulate that. Oh, this is the gap. Let's promise this and maybe we'll figure it out or so on the way. So those are good experience. So I think coming on to what Achu sir mentioned, that outcome is something that matters. So that brings me to my next goal and our next topic. I'll ask people in the audience, what is the recruitment outcome matters the most to you? It's a quick poll. We'll take 30 seconds and you can answer and then move on to the next question to Manish sir. So Manish sir, what measurable change convinces you that AI is truly transforming recruitment? Something that you can measure? Or is it just automating existing tasks? How do you differentiate between the impact and improvement?
We see the recruitment. Sorry. So if we see recruitment as a whole all process, so starts from right screening of the candidate till the final hire. So that's what you call as the recruitment funnel. Na? So that visible change should be there at each stage of the funnel. So be it that funnel actually is the entire recruitment process. So be it the number of hires versus number of screened candidates, that ratio should improve. And between each stage, there should be a time reduction, like lead time reduction between each stages, like from screening to let's say the interview process, then interview to onboard. So these are one or two measurable changes. Second is the you can look at the quality of the hire, whether it is improving or not. Second is the biases are reduced. So there may be biases in terms of region or whatever, different kind of biases. So with the use of these AI tools, you get the, like Ajit San mentioned about the uh, uh, finding the best fit candidate. So the AI should know that this particular region only is not only having the best candidates, right now. So biases are reduced, speed and quality balance, and overall the candidate experience also improves. So see, one of the important things, like only the hires get complicated sometimes. Whether the not hires, many times you see on the LinkedIn where a lot of posts do come in, like rejection are not communicated properly. So at each stage of the recruitment process, the communication improves, the candidate experience overall improves. So these are couple of 4 or 5 points which I thought are good to have in terms of whether when you are deploying AI tool, the measurable changes should be visible in these 4 or 5 aspects. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely agreed, sir. And I think most people in the audience also agree that quality of hire, which you mentioned, in stages, that it should also be improved. And also, as you mentioned, stage by stage, the time to hire also need to be reduced. I think you put it better well that stage wise it should reduce, not just overall, and we can identify the gaps. So that's some great insights. And maybe I'll move on to money, Achyut sir. Achyut sir, when you're what AI capabilities in your experience, excluding the tools, can shift these two things, the quality of hire bit and the reduced time to hire bit? Is there anything particular feature or particular software that you saw that not should not they definitely reduce it or make it better, but can has the power or has the possibility to improve it?
Yeah, see, let me try and break up the recruitment part into 3 or 4 points. The starting is the scoping. What is the hire? Once I have a feeling that most hiring managers have to be aligned with the business to know who exactly they're looking for. So if the scoping is done well, then you can think of sourcing. Okay. AI will help you fantastic there. Uske baad mein screening. So as a third party recruiter, what I look at is when I send a resume to a client, the first round rejection must be minimum. Because if I understand what the client is saying and I give it to, so my parameter there is what is the strike rate, how many CVs sent, how many make it through the first round. Second, third, fourth, I'm not in control. So that's one issue. Second is the other stakeholder, candidate, the candidate experience. Okay. So to me, the hiring manager and the candidate are the primary stakeholders. We are only enabling it. The tools are basically to speed up and our efficiency. So once the quality of hire is taken care, everything falls in place.
Okay, so I think if it's better screening and scoping, it could, tilt it better because there would be improved quality higher. Instead of 1,000 interviews, we are taking 10 or 15 or 20 targeted interviews, and that also reduce time to hire because the time to interview is reduced.
Yeah, let me have a caveat. Unlike Maruti, which has huge numbers of hiring, I'm a third-party recruiter, so I handle only handful of assignments. So मेरे को हर hire is important. So, and I'm looking at the candidate. I'm not looking at any hire, but I'm looking at the hire. Okay, so I may be biased because Manish and the team will be looking at thousands of hires, okay, and a whole lot of issues. So unka alag rahega. I'm talking to you about a context of a search consultant.
Okay, got it. I think next then I'll take on that. So, because is a larger number of hiring at Maruti, it also at different locations. So, Nitin sir, I'll come to you that enabling a tool across all, the biggest part is implementation. That people start using it and it aligns well in your processes. So there are cases where the implementation does not work out. The tool could be great, the features could be well with the organization, but implementation is where most, not most, but couple of companies. So what mistakes do you see that happening because for a bad implementation, or how do you do it differently at Maruti for organizing this size?
Yeah, that's a good question, Shahid. Actually, basically, any tool, when we going to select any AI tool or any other kind of tool or platform, first of all, we should have to check what is our requirement. And the second thing, which is also a very major part, that is that tool is not going to change everything in a 1 second or in a one go or in a 1 month cycle, because it take times. It is not like that it is a plug and play kind of thing, or we will just plug in this thing, or it will completely replace the human judgment, or you can say that it will completely replace the cycle time. It takes time. So we should have to be well prepared for that it is will be a change, and the change management is completely required for that. Secondly, two, three things I would like to highlight, that which mistakes the company makes when they implement any kind of AI tools implementation on any kind of platform implementation. So basically, what we does is that we hire a single kind of AI tool or platform, and we think that it will work for all category of employees. It will work for different location. It will work for blue collar, white collar, and the different levels also. So it is not possible for the one tool that it will work for all. Or either we have checked with the vendor that he is providing the same kind of solution what we are looking for. So we think that hiring is same, so tool will be the same. It is not like that, because there are multiple complications in the hiring process itself. The hiring process of blue collar employees and the white collar employees, that is completely different. And secondly, I just would like to say that all the AI tool, if we talk about, we are talking about AI in this platform. So the what happens that the AI tool use the historical data to make the decisions and predictions. So if the data is unclear, biased, or inconsistent in previous records, which is very common when we work with multiple vendors and sites. So what happens? It amplifies those flaws at a larger scale. So basically, it is GIGO kind of thing, the garbage in and the garbage out. So first, we have to look at our own data, that it is clearly and very in a good form, to make a decision from that data or to make any insight from that data. And the last one, as I already mentioned in my opening statement, that underestimating the change management is something which is very critical in implementing any kind of tool. So basically, it will not train your users. So either he will not utilize the AI recommendation or the platform recommendation, or will always highlight the flaws only. Basically, he will not see about that what good is going to be happen with this platform. And without training or the clear understanding, sometimes it also happens that user will ignore it, or the worst could be that you can say that blindly follow that report or follow that data. So that is also a big part. So change management is something when we going to implement any kind of platform or AI tool. So in a nutshell, I just would like to add one more thing, that whenever we implement the AI, so we think that it will replace the human judgment. So we should not think that it is replace the human judgment. Instead of that, we should think that it will just integrate as a partner which support the hiring activities at a large scale and give the speed with the human touch. So that's the point from my side.
I think those are some great points. I think you talked about team resistance to change, integration with the current process and system, data quality. I think garbage in, garbage out was a great example of, one bad hire could also impact the future hires as well. So let's on that take a poll, and what others feel their concern is about implementation. And while people are answering, I'll come to you, Manish sir. So as Nitin sir said that one solution can't work for all. You must be managing multiple teams inside Maruti who's doing different kinds of recruitment. So what support do you seek from those software vendors when they want to implement AI? Do you look at for that particular team as a thing, or you hold as a that they can give in support? What are some non-negotiable requirements, and how do you make each and everyone in the team adopt to the particular platform or the process?
See, I'll begin with a larger perspective, like any change, na? Like Nitin also mentioned, na, change management. So change management is easier said than done. So we mean to say, you can't simply impose like till yesterday you were using this platform, now switch to this. So maybe some kind of pilot runs, the parallel runs. So like Nitin's team also keep on doing a lot of changes. Like your platform also came to Maruti, so you are running some other platform. So we did not straight away jumped into using the newer platform. So training the teams, one part, making people accustomed to new kind of setup, new kind of platform, having enough training workshops, having enough hands-on experience, doing the pilot runs, not implementing at one go in the whole lot of scale, in the larger scale. So go step by step, have pilots, have trial runs, have your team trained properly, and in the bigger basket, if I put everything, change management. That is all I would like to put up.
Okay. I think that's change management is, I think many people are not answered over here, but integration with existing system is one of the biggest uh, pain concern people have shown. And change
Yeah,
management, I
of course,
think,
of course. The the platform should be integrable with your existing HRMS system. A lot of difficulties keep on happening at the later stage once you adopt some of the platform. So with the existing system, the integration also.
got it. So that comes from a product point of view, Jyotis. When I come to you, what is you as a product person see that companies are making this mistake while implementing? Is it maybe that they are rolling out AI across the recruitment team in a bit sudden, or like what do you see the main problem?
Yeah, so as rightly mentioned by identifying the right use cases for a better ROI is the crucial. So sometimes every new technology comes to the market, there is a peak of talking about it. There are buzzwords around it, and later it will settle down to use cases and then adoption. Right? These are the slow down process of any technology when we introduce, even starting from the computer to mobile to AI to agents. Right? So all this happens. As rightly mentioned, sometimes the people wanted to adopt every places of talent acquisition or every places of HR and all in one shot. But I like the approach where, as rightly mentioned by Nidit sir and Manish sir, that take it as breaking into different use cases, adopt one by one, and measure the ROI, return of investment, and see how the system behaves, how the adoption works. The another thing is the major thing which I most of the time feels that the adoption side from the user side. Are they well equipped? Are they trained to use an AI system? Because as all of you know that we have a lot of compliances. Now we are talking about when we use an AI system as well, what we need to give, what we should not give to the system. At the same time, there are a lot of talks about ethical AI, right? Are we implemented on an ethical AI perspective? Are we implemented responsible AI framework when we implement this kind of a solution? So this is very important. And then compliances, certifications, data security, all are very important things when we implement an AI system in any organization. Irrespective of the workflow you address it, either it could be hiring or it could be somewhere else. But this is generic approach where we see, and we also see that especially to the GDPR, this is very important to ensure that there is a clause in GDPR saying that there should be a mandatory training for every users who use an AI systems. That mandatory certification has to be get from the users and then produce it. So it's very important. So I'm really because AI as our country in India, we also started AI policies soon. I think there is announcements done by our government. I hope that this is all policies will come in play, and then make sure that even users are very well clear about how to use it and what not to give, what to give is very important.
That's very interesting, Jyotish. You put out well good points about, uh, expectations and all. I think one of the biggest expectation that all, not all, but many in the early stages have that, oh, how soon will I get results? So, Nitin sir, I'll come to you. What do you think is the actual timeline? Like, not one shoe fits all thing, but something. How long does a company has to wait, or they try to start getting results?
Yeah, basically, we should not look for the result in a one go, as I've already said. So there are multiple kind of phases where we can see that what improvement is going on. So basically, initially, efficiency improvement will be look within 1 or 3 months, which is measurable by a hiring impact. And the next 3 to 6 months, we should have to see that how processes are streamlining and how this platform is well working with our existing systems or HRMIS. So this is the second one. And for the ROI point of view, we should give at least 12 months time to see that whether this platform is working or not. So apart from this, there are 3 to 4 months time is also there, which some company do the pilot batches, just like Maruti do. We do not just jump on the new system. What we do is that we do the pilot first. So our existing system work together with the new system so that we can identify the gaps and make the necessary improvements in the new system. So the 12-month time, I think so that it is a time span where we can access the complete platform or new things which is going to be implemented, and thereafter we have to go for the ROI part.
Got it. Uh, very interesting. So I think Jyotish maybe Zappy hire a 12-month mark for Maruti using, which is when we can have a discussion. How's it going?
That's
How's
why
the
now we are moving our other partners on the JP Hire also.
Okay, so that's a
So
great news.
we crossed that 12 months and we are getting more users.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, I think, Ajit sir, do you want to add anything to what Nitin sir said? I would want to hear from your view.
No. The proof of the pudding is in eating. Okay. And if Maruti says they are happy with it, अभी मैं क्या उसमें कांटा निकालूं? Okay. I personally feel
No, sir. You can absolutely add your views.
ready. The results come. Tool is the last thing. Okay. So I don't think the speed is of importance. The direction is of importance. अब सही रोड पे fast गया तो बात है. If you're on the wrong highway and go 180 kilometers, it doesn't help anything. So I think Maruti has got it absolutely right. I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Um, I'll put up a poll and then I come to you, Manish sir. So this next poll is, what is the recruitment priority for the people in the audience? What actually are they priority right now? So, Manish sir, we talked about, Nitin sir mentioned, Jyotish mentioned, Archie's mentioned, that there are lots of tools for AI, right? So, if there's a young TA who's, wanting to start their journey or the recruitment strategy, they'll have lots of things to explore. And either trying all things, they might not work out. So, if, let's say, you have to start and you want to build your recruitment strategy from scratch, what should you prioritize that would help you make better decisions, or for a young TA particularly?
So, see, for any TA, talent acquisition manager, he must be having many problems. Like, so some may be having time to hire, some may be having uh, uh, the turnout ratio. So try solving not all problems through use of AI tools all at once. Take one problem at a time, build confidence, see the metrics improving, and then go to the another. So it is very easy to say I will solve all the problems with the use of technology and those flashy words. But our experience in Maruti has been go one by one with one problem. So this is the first thing. Second thing, which is Nitin already talked about, is the ROI. Any change you implement, give it sufficient time to yield and give fruits, give results, and involve all the stakeholders, like all the your recruiters, your all the entire team. The involvement should be there right from the start. Uh, these are a couple of 3 4 things which I'd say, and topmost being the prioritize what you want to improve.
Yeah, I think that's some great insight. Like rather than fixing all things at once, moving on after fixing a thing and then trying to fix another. Maybe that would help because trying to fix one thing on your end and there it is being broken because we integrate some other tool. So maybe you're trying out a screening resumes and then you realize, oh, there was a alternative video interview platform that was much better, maybe like ZappyView. So Jyotis, from product standpoint,
Zappy View, I have heard a lot from Jyotis also. So maybe some pilot we can do, but not for the blue collar. है ना, Nitin?
Yes.
okay. So from a Jyotis, your point of view, right? So product point of view, what is one feature that the brand should try to prioritize from your perspective?
Come again. Sorry.
From your perspective, what is the in recruitment strategy fixing the gaps and everything by AI? What is the one thing they should start prioritizing in the first thing when someone is starting out?
Okay, so if I understood your question, you are asking what is the gap which you need to identify when somebody implement an AI system? How can we prioritize it, right? See, there are more power to. I think there are more room for us to explore the data in talent acquisition. For example, um, if you can have a feedback loop back to the talent acquisition system, for example, let's say candidate A got hired in XYZ company. And if the PMS data, the performance management data of that candidate can flow back to the recruitment and see how that particular person has been performed in that organization, can give an input to the recruitment strategy and the workflow, would actually help that company to optimize it if there is anything need to be optimized. I'm just giving one example of it. So if you're the talent acquisition, that not just a tool, not the process, but if that ecosystem can open up little more to adopt couple of the data from the different systems in the landscape. So, for example, PMS data, or even there are use cases we are exploring the prediction of a employee resignation. If the leave management data, if we can get it, let's see if it can particularly persons overutilizing the leaves in very frequent manner, probably that is a signal, right? So imagine if you can get this kind of a signal and create a requisition upfront, which will automatically system put out the data and create a pipeline. The moment somebody comes and say, oh yeah, that person resigned and I want to create a new requisition, system is already well prepared to address that. So it is more like a proactive in nature than a reactive. So the major gap what I would see that the platform, not just a platform story, but the entire process has to be little more open up to receive more signals from the other other platforms or other databases or the data sources, so that the process can be more enriched on a daily manner or a daily frequent manner, so that more optimization can happen in the talent.
Okay, that's some that's some good insight, Joseph. I think feedback loop is something that would make better because when you're giving feedback for what kind of quality you got in the recruitment, and then basis that new um, Manish sir, I'll come to you because I think this is one you have mentioned it multiple times. Um, AI and human intelligence. How does one balance both of two? What is something that you should let the AI do it and the software do it? What is something that should be relied on human intelligence? And how does one balance between the both? What is the right framework for it?
See, AI usage of AI should be for throwing up the option. The decision making, like for our case, the decision making has to be with the human. So various options has to be sought from the AI. That is one thing, and evaluating it basis your requirement, your local condition, your this thing is the most important thing.
Okay.
That is what I would like to add.
So eliminating rather than, eliminating the bad options would make decision making faster. Would you want to
Yes.
add anything, Nitin, sir, to this?
Yeah, actually, I am just handling the blue collar recruitment, which is a bulk
Okay.
recruitment. So I just would like to add one more thing that, in my view, AI should also handle the volume and speed, and
Okay.
the human should be focused on the judgment and the empathy part, which is still with him also. So now we took the regular feedback and audit, so the system can be worked fair or effectively, so that we can achieve the speed through AI. But that the Manisha rightly said, the final decision should be taken by the humans based on multiple factors and his thought process or wisdom.
Okay. That's I think the strong statement is human should AI should mention the quantity and we should look at the quality. So
Yes.
I think that's nice. Actually, sir, do you want to add anything? Plus, also
Yeah,
in
yeah.
your perspective. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I personally feel when they defined AI, calling it artificial intelligence was the biggest problem. If they had instead said augmented intelligence, at least humans would not have been scared of AI. Abhi kya hai? People are worried that if technology works, we will be replaced. So I know a lot of people who will make the system fail. Okay. So in my field, it should not have been artificial intelligence. If you just nomenclature, augmentative intelligence will alag baat hai. Number one, I would feel that we should allow data to do what it does. I mean, managing data is AI's job. Managing people is humans' job. Let both do what they're doing best. And like Manisha said, what gets measured gets done. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to our last couple of questions. And I would ask all panelists, like we'll start from you, Manish sir, and then we'll go to Nitin sir and Achut sir. Looking ahead 2 to 3 years or couple of years, I would say 10 years down the line, but I think industry will change in couple of years, 2 to 3 years. What would recruitment workflows look like? What do you see happening, changing because of AI tools or different tools? And what would be the day-to-day of recruitment teams couple of years from now?
See, one thing is very important, which with the advent of these AI tools and lot of other aspects of the recruitment getting automated, na? So what I feel that a recruiter will have too many things to handle. Like one part is the background, one part is the kind of the screening part, one part is judging the behavior part. So all those things, if we can club and combine in one single stop solution, na, the recruiter's life will become easier. So that is my view, that the lot of overwhelming things are coming up in the TA, na, the digitization front. So if we can have some kind of a one-stop solution for handling all kind of recruitment needs, that will make the life of the recruiter easier, because we face these challenges in the hiring. So there are at least I would say 4 to 5 partners in the entire recruitment process, be it the assessment part, be it the communication part, be it the background part, be it the screening part. So there are lot many stakeholders involved for a hiring manager to get involved for a voluminous hiring like us. And even for the white collar hiring also, where the volumes are not that high, the stakeholders are too many. Maybe around 3, 4 of stakeholders they will also be handling. So if you can club and integrate these kind of stages or stakeholders, so that is my point. Moving forward, next two,
Got it.
3, 5 years.
That's nice. I had a question for you. Would enterprise would want a one-stop solution for all our specialized tools? I think that answers it. An enterprise would want one-stop solution that caters to each and every pain point in a single dashboard rather than different tabs. That's great. Nitin sir, what do you think recruitment workflows will look like? Maybe for blue collar hiring, we'll talk in particular.
So basically, I think Manish sir has covered all the points. So I just would like to summarize this, that in next 2 or 3 years, the recruitment will be more integrated, automated, or personalized, and but still it will be guided by a human oversight. So human touch will always be there, which cannot be missed anytime. So the things will be there which by which we can achieve the speed, we can do the things in a better way or a managed way or a organized way, but still the human oversight will be there.
Okay. That I think integrated better. That's a good line. And Achyut said, do you want to add what do you think recruitment workflows would look like?
Yeah. I mean, most of us are covered, but broadly, I'll tell you what I started first. There are two stakeholders, hiring managers and candidates. I feel there's a lot of room for improvement in understanding and standardizing hiring manager intent. Today, hiring manager itself is not able to decide on what they want on a reliable basis. Take Maruti itself. You have two tool rooms. Each manager might want different qualities in the same person. हम लोग CV बेचते रहेंगे, पहला वाला निकलेगा, दूसरे में अटक जाएगा. Okay. So I feel first and foremost, the hiring manager intent must be reliable. So the system should work on educating the hiring manager's part. On the supply side, I foresee that today if there are a team of 10 recruiters, in 2 years there will be say 3 recruiters and 7 agents. Okay. So it's not just about managing humans, it's also about managing IT. So I don't know how many recruiters are upskilling themselves. A lot of training to be done there. Go away from denial of AI to manage AI to leverage AI. So I think what both Nitin and Manisha said, change management is the biggest issue. Tools are simple. If I have a hammer, I just have to go looking for a nail. But this is much more complicated. And how Jyotish also addressed, the larger the company, the more the silos. Unfortunately, even it takes talent. In every company, you have a talent attraction is a separate team, talent management is a separate team, talent development is a different team. I feel unless they come together and they all see the same thing together, we'll be only looking at the wrong end of the problem. I mean, look at it. Today we have AI helping us. I mean, if you look at Amazon or Swiggy, they've made us as consumers used to 10-minute delivery. But you look at an recruitment assignment, it goes on for 45 days, 50 days. And Abhi's answer is, we'll get back to you. Okay. And unfortunately, today, most companies have a 90-day notice period. What is the big point of hiring in 15 days? I think the whole overall needs to be done. And you can't really blame Zappy Hair or any other tool to kind of be the broken piece. Sorry, I'm zooming out. Okay.
No. I think Joseph, I'll throw googly at you. Rather than asking you what recruitment workflows do you think would be there in the future, I'll ask you what are we bringing to the recruitment workflows? What are we changing as a product?
Yeah. So, as rightly mentioned by rest of the speakers, human will be in the core and human will be in the loop. But the current automation aspects will go from an suggestive system to an intelligent system. What does it mean is, if you look at the agents era, right now we are all in agent era. There are 3 or 4 characteristics which is required for agentic AI or any, if you want to call any program as an agent, there are 4 characteristics. One is it has to take its own decisions. Second, it has to have a contextual awareness. Third, it has to have a goal. And the fourth, it also learns from its own journey, right? So these 4 main characteristics, if you look at it, it make more intelligent to give a right recommendations. Or if I can, let's say a recruiter say, these are my, for example, if a recruiter say, these are my 1,000 candidates, go and set up meet interviews with them from this dates. The system should be able to identify all possible questions from the candidate. They say that I'm not available today. I'll be available only X, Y, Z. So there are a lot of uncertainties in this conversation. How the system would be managed to take this uncertainty and take its own decisions and try to align with the goal given by the master. Who is the master? Recruiter here in this case. So this is going to come, that the system from an automation, from a digitalization to automation to a intelligent system. So that is going to come soon. As you know, a lot of things are evolving in talent acquisition, and the adoption is also much faster. I think it's in a very exciting time, I feel, especially in the recruitment space.
Okay. That I think answers well, and that concludes our discussion for the day. And because we are running little, I think the conversation has been great. I did not think it would be 5 o'clock so soon. It just felt like 10 minutes back it was 4 o'clock, and it was a great conversation. So we'll take some Q&A. We have multiple questions in the chat. So I'll take one from Ganesh Sharde, and I'll open it to the dais. Anyone who feels that they want to answer can answer. But how can we ensure that AI tools used in hiring are promoting diversity and inclusion rather than reinforcing existing bias? Maybe Achyut sir, would you want to answer this?
Yeah, I think it should, because it all depends on the data, like how Nitin said earlier, garbage in, garbage out. Okay. We think that humans are responsible for bias. Okay. I think data is going to, and there's a proof of the pudding. Imagine if data is able to throw out CVs, and after, like you're thinking after one to the hiring, you find that a diverse candidate is better. Okay. That in itself is a solution. Okay. Because we have to trust that process.
Yes,
Okay.
completely agree with Achyut sir. Basically, it is us who define the policies and processes. So if it is in our mind that we have to include the diversity and inclusion, and it should be a part of our recruitment process, then we have to define our policies accordingly. Because AI is nothing, it is what we are asking them to do. They are not going to do from themselves only, because we have to feed them accordingly, they will respond.
That's, I think, answer. I think to answer Ganesh sir, I think using the tools to evaluate candidates, maybe in a standardized manner, is one of the key things that could happen. Like, and ensuring our the process are diverse in particular that we can replicate in AI, rather than looking at a tool that can give us processes. So that would be one of the answer. Next question, I think Jyotish, we can ask you. So Nisha Gupta says that we had tried an AI-based screening tool some time ago, where the system asked candidates a set of screening questions. However, the interaction felt very robotic and monotonous, almost like the AI was just reading our questions. It lacked engagement, and we were concerned about how candidates would respond to such a dull experience.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think with the latest technologies, this can be completely eliminated, right? A recent avatar-based interviews, which is already launched by Zapier, by rest of the other companies also in the market, which can be taken very conversational and human-like conversation or human-like interviews. Even I can change the avatar face to my face. Okay, and have the conversations, and not just the questions, but also based on the responses by the candidate, it can synthesis the next follow-up questions. Very human-like, very agentic. And there are a lot of, if anyone wanted to see a free demo, please be in touch with us. We are open to showcase you how this works. A lot of companies adopted it, including Upgrad and 99 Acres. All these companies are using it. Very human-like conversations, and only thing what you need to tell to the system is what's the role you are going to hire, what the skills you need to be evaluated, and what's the time. That's it. Rest of the thing will be converse that the conversational engineering will happen within the system, and then do the automated interview with the candidate.
Got it. I think I'll get watched for that. So Jyotis is talking about Zappy View. So while taking the demo, I was a bit baffled that, oh, not just the AI answering questions, but when Jyotis asked, what can you explain the JD? The agent explained the JD in a very better way. So I think that helps. It's a two-way conversation rather than one way. So I think that answers
So
your
I,
question,
I
Krishna.
would like to see the demo of this. I was discussing with Nitin right now. Right now, Nitin? Let's see the demo.
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely we will plan a demo.
We will plan a demo for you, Manish sir, definitely. And Jyotis, I think we'll take a meeting with Manish sir and show how it works. Yeah. Uh, Next question is from Nigi. So many resumes or qualified candidates are getting rejected because of the applicant tracking system. How will we solve with AI?
I think
Jyotis,
Jyotis can answer this better.
you're mute, Jyotis. Jyotis, you're mute.
Mute.
So the error thing only on the resume extracted data is over. So it's a multi-dimensional engagement with the candidates and pull out multiple data, not just the resume, multiple data, and use that data to do the screening part of it. So dependency on the resume and the keywords all is not anywhere. That diluted because we are not just depending only one particular source of the data. In fact, it can turn to be multiple dimensions as well. For example, it could be a WhatsApp chat, it could be a phone call, auto phone call, which we recently implemented in one of the customer, where system has a capability to have a phone call conversation with the candidate in multiple 42 languages we supported. Some of the vernacular languages also we supported. That way, multi-engagement, multi-source way of getting the data, using that data to screen this candidate is always better, because we are not just biased only about or only based on the data which is mentioned in the resume, which is probably not correct always.
Okay. We'll move on to the next question. How AI will evaluate soft skill of the candidate suitable for the role during screening process? So I think this is when Nitin sir had raised that we don't know how the person is behaving. So, Jyotis, anything on that?
Yeah. So soft skills are already evaluating. How the articulations and then cohesions and their language capabilities, all these are be part of this analysis as of now. And also, I can even look evaluate how candidate present themselves, the confidence level, and then if they're using any gestures, all this can be easily evaluated by the system. On top of it, there is a lot of proctoring is also enabled, as in if there is any third party involved, or if there is any multiple voice involved in that session. On top of it, we also enable something which we can also detect if most of this information is created by any other AI. For example, very smart people give these questions immediately to the chat GPT and get a response, and they can easily articulate it as if they are saying it. But now the system has that they have intelligence to see if the content is generated by another AI system. So cheating will not be possible. Of course, there are smart people who can cheat anyways, but I'm talking, but in general, it is easy to tackle.
Okay, we'll take last question for the day. We have two questions from Priyanka, and her first question was, "What is the best AI tool for recruiter?" So I had answered in that depends on your use case and pain points. So your use case and pain points can vary, but you can explore Zappy Hire and Zappy View, and maybe those can solve your pain points, and maybe we can have a conversation. The next question she has is, "We have been using an AI interview tool which has given recommended basis the question it has created from the uploaded JD. Still, the candidate got rejected and deemed not fit for the role. It evaluated the candidate's answer on basis communication, clarity with regards to questions." So I think to just shorter version of this, that the AI generated questions based on the JD And although the candidate gave better answers for the questions generated, but still got rejected. So what to do in those cases? Jyotis, last question for you.
So that's a cases, but ideally we should we normally do is we also ingested the domain knowledge, because when candidate use some words, for example, in banking scenario, interest is one word which is used for one particular meaning. But if I use interest in general term, it is different. So if I'm not ingesting my knowledge, probably people will not understand what it talks about, right? So the contextual understanding is very, very important to the system. So we do train the system based on the line of business of that customer. If they comes from a automobile industry, we have to ingest the knowledge about the automobile industry or EV or whatever the new trend is coming. So that way only be able to understand the skill-based question, not about the language or the soft skills. That kind of skill-based questions and evaluate the candidate properly. That's, for example, in case if you're talking about the banking, that's a different. So domain knowledge ingestion is must. We cannot create a black box and squarely fit everywhere. That's not going to work.
Okay. I think we have more questions, but sorry, we are running very late on time, and I would want to not occupy Manish sir, Nitin sir, Achut sir's time. So I'll send you an email right after this webinar, maybe tomorrow morning. So if you have any questions, we can forward it to Manish sir, Nitin sir, if you want, or maybe Jyotis. We'll answer your questions later on via email. Uh, Thank you so much, Manish sir. Thank you so much, Nitin sir. Thank you so much, Achut sir, for your time today. Your insights were great. I think we had most of the people here would have benefited from your experience, years of experience, and your working in those fields. If you have any closing thoughts, happy to hear. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know whether I came across as anti-AI. I'm not anti-AI. I'm anti-unproven AI.
Okay.
If hiring managers are happy and candidates are happy, I'm all in for it. Okay, I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. I use AI in a whole lot of stuff, and it's improved my life. Okay, and I'll continue to use it. And I'm also trying to learn how to make agents. Okay, so sorry if I've been a devil's advocate today.
Okay. Got it. Anything to add, Manish sir, Nitin sir?
No, I think it's a great conversation we had today, and definitely we had to use the AI, but based on the requirement and purposefully. Secondly, we cannot ignore the human intelligence and take over the artificial intelligence.
My only closing will be like picking from what Jyotis has said. Training your agent is very, very important. So agent will do what the human is training it. So if the training is not correct to your AI agent, the result in the hiring or whatever you are doing is not going to come in the correct way. So again, it's a match between the AI and the human intelligence, HI. Right. That's it.
Got it. I think later on we can make a very good, but AI ने बना दिया recruiting career. Got it. It was a great conversation. I hope all of you enjoyed listening to. Jyotish, you want to add anything before I?
No. Thank you so much for everyone. Yeah, that's
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Manish sir. Thank you, Nitin sir, Achut sir. We'll take a leave.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
Abhya.